Hello, 45 Alpha Charlie Papa Channel, and today we're going to take a look at the Sarsilmaz, or Sar USA, or Sar Arms B6 pistol made in Turkey. Now, Kevin, stop, Kevin. I appreciate the comment down below, but yes, I know, buy American, right? Well, you see this photo here? I have purchased several American guns over the year, and we are a YouTube channel, and we need to look and discover other firearms that are on the American market. And the Sarsilmaz has been here for a while. It doesn't have a huge following. They've had some issues with some importers and stuff, but you know, that's why you see Sar USA or Sar Arms. They've always been Sarsilmaz. Sar Arms was the old importers. Sar USA is now a branch of Sarsilmaz here in the United States, bringing these guns in so they can eliminate the importers. They become their own importers. So I think you're really going to see a lot of things coming from Sar USA. Anyway, who is Sarsilmaz, you may ask? They are the largest firearm manufacturer in Turkey. They are 5th generation, family owned, going all the way back to 1880 in the Ottoman Empire. They are the largest supplier of small arms to the Turkish military and police forces, along with several other military and police forces around the world. They are very well known. They are headquartered in Istanbul. The manufacturing for this is 2 hours out of Istanbul because of the traffic in Istanbul and getting workers to the factory. The factory's 2 hours away in a smaller town by the name of Düzce. And in 2010, they built a 400,000 square foot facility to manufacture firearms in. And it is a state-of-the-art facility. Now, it may be bigger now, I don't know. The 400,000 square foot was as of 2012, but they did have room to expand. In this state-of-the-art facility, they have 3, 4, and 5 axis CNC machines, along with some 7-axis CNC machines. Now, the 7-axis are very elaborate. They can do a lot of elaborate things. They build a lot of revolver cylinders on those. They are a full-line firearm company. They sell everything from shotguns, revolvers, semi-auto pistols, military rifles, and submachine guns to the Turkish military. Another thing with Sarsilmaz is they do everything in-house. Almost everything. The only thing they don't do is they don't do their own forging, where they mill the parts from. That is handled outside of Sarsilmaz control. And they don't do some of the metal finishes, like the black you see here on the controls and the hammer, the black you see here on the sights. And these sights are metal sights. Magnet sticks to them, so you know, that's really nice. They do not believe in any MIM or metal injected molded parts. Everything is done from forging. Everything is milled to spec. They also do their own frames. They injection mold their own frames, their polymer frames. They make their own magazines. They even do the boxes that the guns and rifles and such come from. They do almost everything in-house. And the fact that there's no MIM parts in here, even the firing pin is a milled part, speaks volumes to the quality that these are made to. Another thing, since they built that new facility, they have become a supplier to the aerospace industry. And they've got clients like Boeing and Airbus that they make parts for. Now, you're not going to make parts for the aerospace industry or airplane manufacturers if you don't have high quality and precision equipment and parts coming out of that facility. They have to be high quality. They have to meet those safety standards. And Sarsilmaz translates English to unshakable. But what we have here is the B6 pistol. It is based off a CZ75. It is not a clone of a CZ75, but you can't say it's a clone of a EAA Witness. So it's kind of a clone of a CC75. A clone of a clone, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're a clone because the Sarsilmaz and the Witness, the Tanfolio Witness, take their cues and stuff from the CZ75, but there are some internal differences. Parts are not interchangeable between the brands. There is a relationship there with Sarsilmaz and Tanfolio. I don't know exactly what that relationship is, but I do know Tanfolio went to Turkey and helped them set up to build these pistols. Now, this is the foundation of their hammer-fired line. Their whole hammer-fired line is based off the CZ design, and this is the foundation. They do have some higher ends. Really like to get a K12 to show you. That's going to be very similar to a CZ Shadow. You do see, I've mentioned it earlier, this one's a Sar USA. You do see them as Sar arms back when they were being imported by EAA and a couple other importers. But again, they are now self-importing these. So I think over the next few years, you're really going to see some movement of Sarsilmaz in the U.S. market. Some of the features that you're going to find on this pistol, it said it's the foundation of their hammer-fired line. Metal trigger. I showed you the metal sights, a stainless steel guide rod and front sight. So front sights are replaceable. I'd like to see some more aftermarket. I think as you get more of these into the country, more people using them, you'll start seeing a little bit more aftermarket for these. A very nice 3-dot sight setup, dovetailed in the rear so you can adjust it for windage. Hammer fired, double single action, something that I prefer. I really like hammer fired guns over striker fired guns. I know I'm a little bit out of the norm. I like my striker fired guns, but I do really like the double single action designs. You've got a reversible magazine release, deep rear serrations here, so you really get a positive grip on the slide since it is a CZ design and you don't get a whole lot of mass there or a whole lot of area there in which to grab, but these are very deep and easy to use. Again, with the metal sights, you can rack it on your belt if need be. And the slide release and the safety are on the left side of this frame, so this being the foundation of the line, it is very right hand friendly, not necessarily left hand friendly, but let's go out and shoot it. We're going to take this out as is out of the box. We're not going to clean it up or anything. We're just going to take it straight from the box as it came from the factory and run it and see how well she runs. We're going to run some 115 grain through it, 126 grain through it, some cast lead, a few different ammos through it, and see how well she handles it. So let's head out to the range. First shots. Appears to be right on. Okay, we are back from the range, and I am impressed with this this little budget pistol. It really ran flawless. I had zero issues with it at all. I took it right out of the box and shot it. I didn't even pull it apart and oil it like I do most of the time when I buy a new gun. The first thing I ran through it was some American Target 115 grain. I figured, let's see if this NATO spec European gun is going to shoot that right away, because a lot of times with some of the European guns that you get over, especially like the Jonix, the other Turkish manufacturer out there, you do get some issues with 115 grains to start with until that gun's kind of broken in. This one didn't care. It fed them fine. It ejected them fine. I ran some 126 grain reloads through it, 126 grain NATO loads through it, some other 126 grain lead through it. again, 115 grain target, not an issue at all. I'm really impressed with what you get out of this. Very quality made. There are a few little things that indicate that it's a budget pistol, but we'll go over that here in a little bit. Feels really nice in the hand. Now, your texturing on the side panels here is basically just dimples and plastic. It's not real aggressive. It'll give you some grip if your hands are wet, like that water someplace to go, but it really doesn't give you a whole lot of purchase. You do have these vertical serrations on the front, vertical on the rear. We are empty. The magazines drop free. No issues with the magazines at all. They operated as they should. But your grip that you get on this, a nice little undercut here, nice little heavy undercut under the trigger guard. Where most of your grip comes from on this is these raised checkering in the four corners of the pistol. You got two up front here, two in the back here. Kind of lays right where a lot of your purchasing for your fingers is. So it felt really good in the hand. It really did work out very well. You can get maybe some grip tape for the side panels if you so choose. You do have some cutouts down here, so if you need to really rip a magazine out because it doesn't want to come out, you can. Well thought out. Controls, very right-handed gun. I mentioned that before. You've got your safety here. You've got your slide release here. And very American place for your magazine release. And again, drop free. You can operate the gun without a magazine. It does not have a magazine to disconnect in it. Something unique to this version of CZ, or CZ inspired pistol, is that you can put it on safe while the hammer's down, or you can cock it and lock it and carry it with one in the chamber with the safety on. Again, the hammer will not drop with that safety on. Fairly easy to swipe with your thumb. Now I've got to kind of roll my grip a little bit. I wish this ledge was just a little bit longer, but it comes off a safe relatively easy. Something that as you're pulling it, if you wanted to run it cocked and locked, you can easily manipulate the safety. Slide release. It is a slide release. It doesn't take a whole lot to activate it, so that's nice. You get a lot of the newer guns now where this is more of a slide hold open than a slide release, so slingshotting it is easier than hitting the release, but this is an actual slide release. Works out very, very well. Fit and finish. The fit and finish on the slide is very well done. You've got your slide in frame, just like all CZs. Overall, a very nice pistol. A couple other things showing you that this is a budget pistol. I mean, you've got a good aggressive texturing here for racking, so you can really get a good hold on it without really having to squeeze down. You can get some purchase on it. You don't have any slide serrations up front. Fit and finish of the polymer frame. I mean, some people complain a little bit that it's very smooth and glossy. It looks inexpensive. I don't find that. I mean, all the lettering on it, everything's crisp, easy to read. It's well done. The only argument or only complaint I would have with it is that where the two pieces come together, you can really see that seam mark where, like the Jonix, you can see it if you really look for it, but it's a lot smoother, a lot better finished off on those seams. But that's something you can see on this. I mean, I could feel it if I rub my hand across it in some spots. I mean, it's a little high, but for grip, using the gun, it's not where it's so sharp or anything that it bothers me or chafes or anything like that. But it's just a little touch that they could kind of clean up maybe. and make this look a little bit nicer. But overall, I mean, it's well executed. It functioned flawlessly. I didn't have any issues with it. The sights were right on, right out of the box. Accuracy was good. I didn't get to put it on paper. The range was fairly full that day, but I did get to shoot it at steel. And, you know, I was hitting the steel on a regular basis at, you know, over 10 yards. And, you know, it just ran. Really, really impressive little gun. I think they're going to really start making some headway into the market now that they're Sar USA, now that they're bringing their own stuff in. You know, if this is the foundation of what like the B12 is made out of, I'm really looking forward to shooting that. The only other thing I can think of on this is there is no decocker, where a lot of times when you get a hammer-fired pistol, especially the CZs, all you do is just push the safety down and it decocks the pistol. You don't get that with this gun. If you want to drop the hammer and carry it with a round in the chamber, with the hammer down, you do need to pull the trigger to let that hammer down. Now you can carry it this way. It does have a trigger block safety, or you can, you know, that little extra touch of safety. If you want to still have that double action, it does have a half cock mode. So you don't want to carry it single action. You want to carry it in kind of a double action, but a shorter throw. It does have the half cock. One of the other things, before I go, you know, the reset on the trigger. Let's look at that trigger. Not too bad. There's a little bit of play there, but you know, you hit your wall pretty quick. Right there. A little bit of just a touch of take up, and there's your brake. So a little bit of travel coming back to this reset, but not bad at all. And it takes you right to just before that brake, so you've got a little bit of take up there. But the trigger on this in single action is pretty decent. You do get a little bit more trigger slap than I would like, because that you're right about there for the wall, and when it does go over the edge, you've got a lot of travel there. You've got a lot of over travel on the back. So we're going to see if we can't do something with that. Maybe put some kind of screw or something in the trigger, or see if we can't, you know, tighten this up a little bit. It's just kind of a, you know, it's going to be a fun gun for the range, a fun gun, be a great truck gun, be a great bedside table gun. Being a base model, you don't have the Picatinny rail or anything like that, but I think it's really sharp looking the way it is. And this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel. Please like, subscribe, you know, continue the conversation down below. If you've got one of these and you like it, you know, write about it down there. If you're looking at these but don't know or have some questions, I'd be more than happy to answer questions for you. Like, if you don't like the video, hit the dislike button, but just engage with the channel. Anyway, this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel, and I am out.